What is your American dream?
My mom came to the United States with a dream, and the dream was really very simple. It was to get herself to a place where she could bring her children up to make sure they had a better life. They thrived in an environment that would recognize their talents and reward their hard work. My grandmother, God rest her soul, she was 64 when she took on the task of raising 3 grandkids after having had 7 children of her own. She took it on to raise her daughter's 3 kids. We're living the dream of those 2 great women, and I would say yes, we did achieve the American dream.
Everyone has a right to the American dream. Welcome, everybody. We are back from summer vacation. Jonathan, Yo-Yo Elias, summer vacation. You look a little golden there.
A little golden.
And Vanessa Nesquik Contreras, also looking very golden.
Hey, boys.
I was golden, but I feel I've lost my tan now.
That fast?
No.
I look a little still
you're
tan.
you're still tan.
I was much tanner a few days ago. I just went right back to.
Sheesh.
Right back to a white guy very fast. I was.
I see it from here, Brad.
You can see it. Yeah, I was
a little here.
I know, but when I came back, I was much darker.
Really?
Yeah, and then it just all disappeared in like 48 hours sitting in my office.
Dang.
But how are you, Vanessa?
I'm doing dandy. I want to hear about you boys this time off. Yo-Yo, you went home. I tuned in the entire time. I loved it.
I did. I went home. I went to LA, Anaheim. I went to Cancun, Tulum.
Did you see Yo-Yo jumping off the cliff?
Yeah, I saw that.
They call me Mr. Worldwide, like Pitbull. I'm Mr. Worldwide.
And Vanessa, what have you been doing down in Florida? I see lots of photo shoots for you down there.
I've been building my network.
Right.
I've been at some pretty cool pool parties, some industry parties down here.
Oh.
You know, just staying connected. And
Hobnobbing.
Listen, we love it.
Hobnobbing. Vanessa takes a couple weeks off. I'm like, what have you been up to? Relax. No, I'm hobnobbing with the industry.
That's what you got to do.
Yes.
We don't ever sleep when you're an entrepreneur.
That is right. That is right.
How was your trip?
Fabulous. Yes, I was in Italy.
Mm-hmm.
I was in Venice and Sicily. And it was as good as you could possibly imagine.
We like to hear that.
Yes, the pasta. Let's start with the pasta.
Oof.
Oh, the pasta, Brad.
And then I could go to the Vino.
Oof.
Oh, the
And some
Vino with the pasta.
Yes,
Oh,
and then to finish it off with a cannoli.
Oh, a cannoli.
A cannoli. Forget it.
Forget about it.
Let's say hello. Let's say hello to the squad. We both said it at the same time. It's making me laugh. Jessica Levy, squad up. How are you? Cordella Douglas, squad up. Ma Dukes, how are you? We missed everybody. 3 weeks off for our summer vacation.
Yeah, I'm sure they missed us too.
Yeah, we had a long summer vacation. Josephine Latham, squad up. Marlene Watt Russell, Willie L. Williams, Asila Enots. Do you remember all these people, Vanessa? I'm sure you do. I remember them all. Cordella Douglas, Deanna Moore, Kevin Clark, squad up. Dane C. welcoming us back. And Sankey White, squad up. Mary Watkins, Nina God Pickney, I see you already sharing. Thank you very much, Nina. Maureen McFarlane, Carmetta, for sure. We're back live, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Christy Gonzalez, squad up. Robert Jackson. Who else we see here? Carol, the Tiger. And Tanisha Brown, squad up. Tremaine M. Ramdeen, squad up and welcome back. Thank you very much. Denise Denny, Oh, Danish Danny.
Oh, Danish Danny.
Danish Danny. A little late. You didn't miss anything so far.
Nope.
I'll just recap. Yo-Yo was in Mexico and L.A. Vanessa hobnobbing with some famous people down in Miami. And I was eating pasta and cannolis. That's all you've missed.
That's all you missed.
All right. And
Christy Consalia is pretty pissed at
What?
Facebook.
What?
She's saying Facebook take away my top fan badge.
We have nothing to do with that, by the way.
Oh, no, she's not mad at us. She's mad at Facebook.
Oh, I thought she was mad at us.
No. She's mad at Facebook.
Yeah, because we don't give badges. We don't allow it. It's
We
Facebook
don't.
does it. Marge Higgs. I feel as if I won the lotto.
Oh.
I have an ear-to-ear grin. Welcome back. A pre-comment today. I know that would have been a comment
That's
today.
an amazing
but
comment
I saw
today.
it so early.
It's fitting to say it right now.
Yes, and I don't know if you see anything, Vanessa, just chime in. Mavo Tom, happy to be back. Good evening, everybody. Eileen Clark, big up, Brad, team and squad. We're celebrating. And who else we see here? McLeod Jacquet with some patwa.
Yes.
Can you read that? Who can read that
You know,
properly?
where is that?
Midia, Brad. Midia?
Where's this at?
She's patwa. Doing some patwa. I can't read it. I can understand it. It's right under Jessica Leamy. I'm at my kids' school meetings, and I have
I
Bradshaw
saw it.
Live on in my ears.
I love AirPods. You gotta love AirPods.
Me de ya Brad. Me de ya Brad.
Someone's got to give us. One day we got to bring somebody in for some patwa.
Yeah, I know.
Patwa 101, right?
Or any callers later on, if you could just chime in this moment, that would be. That would be great.
It means I'm here.
Oh, is it?
That's what she
they
says.
Okay.
That's what she says. She's giving
Oh,
us
I
the
see it. It means I'm here.
She's giving us the translation live.
Right.
What
That's
just-
what we need.
What'd you say, Vanessa?
Did we pronounce it properly?
Did we? I hope so. I hope so.
Hope he did not.
I don't think we did, but
Me
but
de
but
ya means
Vanessa
I'm
says
here.
we did, so I'm going with it.
Me
but,
de ya.
Westman squad up. Let's go to YouTube. Tally. Norcia Joachim. Squad up. Tam A. Wah! Whoa!
Uh-oh.
Wow! Squad up. Nice to see you back. Remedy. What does that mean? Remedy.
I guess we're the remedy.
We're
to
the remedy.
We're the remedy to whatever ails her for the day.
There you go.
Can't be without it.
Deion Watson, squad up. Michelle, isn't it nice that we bring so much joy to people? Doesn't it make you feel
Yes,
good?
absolutely.
Makes me feel good.
Feel good show.
Yes, it is. When I was, I was giving an interview the other day to somebody, and they were saying, like, how do you describe Bradshaw Live? I'm like, I used to say come for the immigration, stay for the fun, but now it's more than just immigration. It's, it's information.
Absolutely.
So I'm telling everybody, people come for the information, but they stay for the fun.
That part.
Right?
Yes, absolutely.
And Michelle Gordon, hello. I need your guys' help.
Uh-oh.
She needs some help. We're here, Michelle. Leave your message or call right now. We have some open lines, so you can call Michelle if you need some help. You can leave a message if you need some help. Right? Either one.
Either one.
All right, Yo-Yo, Vanessa, take it away.
Absolutely. All right, squad. You already know what time it is. It is time for you guys to share because we're about to start schmoozing with Brad talking headlines and immigration news. Lots have happened while we were on hiatus, including another update on the fight for DACA in the courts, which we're going to discuss.
Wait, I have a public service announcement. Vanessa, you are 100% right. Marge Higgs says, yes, we pronounced it properly. We Jamaicans are so unique. I hate it when people tell me I'm not a Jamaican.
What?
I hate
Who would ever say that?
I hate it when somebody tells me I'm not a Jamaican too.
Right. We're honorary.
We're honorary
Yes,
Jamaicans.
yes.
All right, continue, Vanessa. I'm sorry.
Okay, squad, and it's Monday, so it's time for Fuzzy News headlines for a feel-good start to the week, including a Facebook page dedicated to the four-legged Friends UPS drivers meet on their routes.
And of course, you can call us at Spar and Bernstein. It's the same telephone number to get on our show. We do have some open lines, so if you do have questions, you do need our help, call right now, 1-800 529-5465. That's right. Ask me your immigration question. Internationally, you can call us as well, 212-227-8933. And later in our show, after we schmooze, after I answer your immigration questions, after we check into social media and see everybody's issues, problems, and concerns, I'm going to be speaking again with Jason Rochester, Cecilia Gonzalez, their son Ashton. Cecilia is was undocumented, and in 2018 she self-deported to Mexico in order to come back to the United States with inspection, not realizing when she left that she would face a bar to re-entry. I spoke with Jason and Cecilia in 2019, and we're now going to get an update on how the family has been doing. And you ready to do some schmoozing?
Let's schmooze, y'all.
There's a lot going on. I have in my hand, Vanessa, the top 781 stories over the last 3 weeks, parsed down. I had a big negotiation with the whole team because they thought everything was so important. And I'm like, well, we would be talking for 7 hours.
Yeah.
So we parsed down, Vanessa, our stories from the top 781 to only the top 378 stories of the last 3 weeks.
We don't have more time.
Yes, we don't. I wish we had more time.
Right.
We don't. Actually, we have all the time we want, but I think people would start tuning out after about 7.
Yeah.
You know, this is not Jerry Lewis telethon schmooze,
That part,
right? Where we
yeah.
go 24 hours. Meanwhile, you know, the big news on the Friday, right before we left for our vacation, a federal judge in Texas on July 16th blocked the Biden administration from accepting new applications for DACA recipients. Basically, this is the same judge that blocked DAPA 8 years ago, the Deferred Action for Parent Arrivals, where parents of children were going to get legal status. This is the same judge that blocked Obama's DAPA program. He's now blocking DACA. What he is doing, though, is he said that because there are over 700,000 or so all DACA recipients already, it would be extraordinarily unfair to take DACA away from them after a decade. He is allowing those DACA recipients to continue to have DACA. He is allowing the Biden administration to accept DACA applications from new individuals who never applied for DACA before. This only affects people who never applied for DACA before. It does not affect somebody who already filed for DACA or already was approved for DACA and needs a new extension notice. This only refers to people who have potentially could have applied for a DACA and never did so. And he's barring people from getting DACA, those new applications. USCIS is still accepting the applications. So if you have never filed for DACA, you should still do it. USCIS is going to accept it. But until this runs through the court system, they're not going to make a decision, unfortunately, on your case. Now, Judge Andrew Haynes. Is that a good name for the guy?
Haynes.
Yeah. Found the program violated the Administrative Procedures Act, the APA. And by the way, it's interestingly, the Administrative Procedures Act is the process in which we as attorneys bring actions against USCIS when they violate your individual rights. But he says it violated the Administrative Procedures Act when it was created. But as I said, since there were so many people currently enrolled in the program, he did not eliminate it. He's just not allowing new people to apply for it. It really comes down to, at some point in time, they've been talking about DREAM Act since 2001, 20 some odd years already. I think everybody has talked this to death. People have been a political ping pong ball for decades with this. It's about time somebody passes a law to allow people, children who had no decision on coming to America, who the United States educated. We spent tax dollars educating them in elementary school, junior high, high school, perhaps even college. They are functioning members of our society, doctors, lawyers. We had actors on from famous actors, part of DACA. They are first responders. They are nurses. They are school bus drivers, and everything in between. Did nothing wrong, other than had the unfortunate luck of not being born in the same country as me and you, Jonathan.
Right.
That's the only thing they did differently. As American as me, as American as you, they grew up here. It's about time that we pass a bill for them. I mean, it's actually the only thing I can say at this point is it's disgusting that it hasn't happened yet.
Absolutely. So now that the judge had ruled it illegal,
Right.
Where do you go from here? Like, do they bring this back up the next presidency?
It goes on appeal. So now there's going to be a higher court that's going to decide on it.
Okay.
And then that court decision's not going to mean anything. And eventually it's going to go to the Supreme Court.
Okay.
And in the Supreme Court, there is a conservative majority. And the concern is because there's a conservative majority in the Supreme Court that ultimately the Supreme Court may side with Judge Hainan. And I hope I never have to go before him because then they'll bring up this video that I called him haters, but so be it. That hopefully, that unfortunately, many people believe that the Supreme Court, because it's a 6-3 conservative majority, may find, like Judge Hainan found, that DACA itself is illegal and end the program. Biden administration, now Trump tried to end it, if you remember, back in 2018. And he would have been successful had he not been such a dumb pumpkin, because he just didn't go about it right. He didn't follow the right procedure to end the program. So the program wasn't ended because the Supreme Court in 2018 found the program legal. It was not ended because the Supreme Court found that Donald Trump did not follow the right procedures to end the program. He was just a little fast on the trigger. He didn't want to wait and follow the right process.
Right.
So ultimately, that's why DACA survived. Now, this next Supreme Court, whenever it's going to happen, probably sometime next year, they are going to decide on the merits of whether DACA is legal or not. It was made up by President Obama. President Obama, Congress didn't pass anything. You know, we're supposed to pass a law. You know, the argument is Congress is supposed to pass a law, and the President of the United States is supposed to execute that law.
Right.
The President of the United States is the one who is in charge of making sure the law is followed. The Congress is the one who's in charge of making the law. So it's a very simple argument. Congress never made a law, and now all of a sudden all of these people are getting work permits and are getting DACA work permits, promises not to get deported, and et cetera, et cetera. The flip side is that the president already has the authority to decide on this. There's already been a law that allows presidents to decide who gets to stay and who doesn't through an executive order. It's called deferred enforced departure. Presidents are allowed to do that. Department of Homeland Security is allowed to do that. So we'll see what the Supreme Court says, but ultimately the concern is that because it's a conservative court, they don't care about immigrants.
They're going to side
with the judge. They will side with Judge Hainan. Now, they're going to pass an infrastructure bill sometime this week, and then the next stage of what Biden wants to do in Washington, which is going to happen over the next 30, 60, 90 days, is going to be a reconciliation, a budget reconciliation where they only need 50 votes. And as part of that budget reconciliation, 50 Democratic senators, all standing in line, voting in favor of a budget reconciliation, they want to try to put the DREAM Act as part of that budget reconciliation. And they have to do it in a way that, one, gets all 50 Democratic senators on board, and 2, do it in a way that this DREAM Act affects the budget of the United States of America, whether there's going to be some sort of filing fee or some sort of revenue generating from passing the DREAM Act. There has to be some sort of revenue that gets generated from this because it has to be part of a budget.
Right.
So if they can figure out a way to generate revenue from the DREAM Act and they can get 50 senators on board, it can be part of the budget reconciliation. It is not going to pass a regular Congress because all the Republicans keep going back to fix the border, fix the border, fix the border, which is what we've heard for the last 25 years. Mm-hmm. That's what's happening with the DREAM Act. And all I can say is, damn.
It's trifling.
Trifling.
Yeah, trifling.
Meanwhile, as the Biden administration is trying to figure out what to do with the DREAM Act, as far as, by the way, people are going to be like, well, what's going to happen with first, the other forms of the amnesty, the amnesty for the farm workers, amnesty for others who are here in the United States. Who knows? Your guess is as good as mine. If anything has a chance of passing, it's going to be the DREAM Act. We'll see. If they can't pass the DREAM Act in the next 60 days, they're not passing anything. I can tell you that.
Oh, wow.
We'll see what happens, though. Now, as all of this is happening, the Biden administration has resumed fast-track deportation flights to Central America, following another spike in families crossing the border into the Rio Grande Valley. As we discussed, the Biden administration has continued to use the public health order known as Title 42, which was invoked by the former President Donald Trump at the start of the pandemic to expel migrants that are found near the border and crossing the border. Biden is still trying to act like he's tough on the border and compassionate at the same time. He's acting tough, talking compassionate. He's trying to satisfy all sides. That's basically, what's happening there with Biden. Meanwhile, conservative media has been reporting that most of COVID cases are resulting from, quote, disease-infested immigrants who are coming across the border. That is, according to conservative media, the real public health danger. PolitiFact reported on Friday that although undocumented immigration may be a contributing factor to the coronavirus spread, obviously each person who comes into the United States, if they are sick with COVID, possibly can spread it. Mm-hmm. There is no evidence whatsoever other than complete speculation that COVID is being spread because of immigrants entering without inspection across the border from Mexico.
Honestly, I was just waiting for this to happen, especially with the Delta variant and everybody starting to get scared again. I was like, they're going to start, using this on their side. The conservative media, it's going to start using it on their side and then to say disease-infested immigrants, that right there just shows you that they want you guys to, think this and, feel like they're the ones who are bringing the problem when it's not even a fact. It's not a fact, correct?
Well, it's not any proven fact. That is for sure. It's absolute speculation.
How is that legal to even do that, though?
Anyone can say whatever they want.
On the media.
Anyone can say whatever they want. It's free speech. But I'll say this about using immigrants as scapegoats. And this is throughout the history of the world. Mm-hmm. Okay, if you can go back to any part of world history. Okay, for any leader to rally people around a cause, the easiest way to rally somebody around a cause as a leader is to blame somebody else for your problems. Mm-hmm. Okay, we have problems. It's not because of you. It's because of somebody else, and that is the history of the world. Okay, I mean, you can go back to World War II in Germany. Germany lost World War I because of the Jews. Let's kill them all. Okay, I mean, we can go back to any part of world history. Okay, in the 1950s in the United States, it wasn't immigrants, it was communists. Okay, we had the McCarthy hearings. Right. Everybody was accused of being a communist. Well, the communists are coming to take over the United States of America. Okay, in the 1960s, it was the hippies.
Right.
I mean, I can go on and on and on. 1980s, it was the Japanese.
Right.
Okay, the Japanese were going to take over the world with their televisions and Toyotas. Remember?
Yep.
Okay. In 2000, wasn't immigrants. It was Muslim terrorists.
Muslim terrorists.
It was Muslim terrorists. We went to war against two countries in Afghanistan, the longest war of 20 years. What did it get us? Nowhere. But we had to blame somebody for our problems. Not to say that it wasn't Muslim terrorists who came and they were in fact Muslim and they were in fact terrorists, but that didn't make every single person a terrorist. Or every single Muslim person a bad person. As a matter of fact, there are as many good Muslim people as there are Christian people, as Jewish people, and anything else.
And as well, because every single one of those instances and situations have to, like, decades and decades after, we all still have that in our mind, like, you know, what they tried to do. And there's certain people that are like, oh, I get afraid when I fly planes, like today.
That's
you know,
right.
so it sucks that they have long-lasting impressions on everybody because how the media just goes into your mind.
Yeah.
So.
By the way, the Department of Homeland Security that we have to deal with every day in immigration was formed as a result of 9/11. Had there not been a 9/11, there would be no Department of Homeland Security.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it used to just be the Immigration Naturalization Service. They did everything, and then they made ICE, then they made Department of Homeland Security and everything else. Meanwhile, all of this has erupted, by the way, between President Joe Biden and Florida's Republican Governor Ron DeSantis, because Florida has the highest coronavirus cases in the United States of America. Governor DeSantis, if Trump doesn't run for president, he is the front runner to run against President Biden as the presumptive Republican nominee, at least at this moment. So Trump steps aside, it's going to be DeSantis running for president. So he's already starting his political campaign against Biden because, you know, Biden's going to say, hey, you're like, you know, some people are calling Governor DeSantis in Florida Governor Death Santis. Have you heard that one down there in Florida?
Yeah, I've heard that.
Vanessa?
Yeah, no,
You have not heard that? Yes, I've heard that from several people.
They actually have the shirts.
Yeah, Governor Death Santis. So, so this is the start of the presidential campaign already, because you know DeSantis has to you know basically pivot from we have very high COVID cases to blame somebody else, blame the immigrants, blaming the immigrants for COVID in Florida.
They don't want to blame the hundreds of thousands of people that went to Lollapalooza all over the U.S. that all spread it to each other.
What about just blame the governor who says you don't need to wear a mask, you don't need to get vaccinated, you know? So I mean, you can blame goes there more than in a poor immigrant who's running across the border.
Exactly.
And there's a lot of workers here that were ready to go into work, and about a week ago or a week and a half ago, with the rise of numbers, they've just had people stay at home.
Yeah.
So there were people looking forward to going back into work, like fully into the space, and now they're going back home.
I have some things here. I want to finish this up quickly about coronavirus, immigrants, and everything else. Public health experts have said it's reasonable to be concerned about coronavirus spreading among migrants, especially if they've lived in close quarters. Babak Javid, a professor of medicine at the University of California, San Francisco, said it would be fair to say that detention centers like prisons are likely to be hotspots for transmission. We saw a lot of this last year, but they said there's no evidence that it's happening on a large scale like Governor DeSantis is blaming Biden. William Schaffner, a professor of preventive medicine at Vanderbilt, said it may very well be that immigrants coming illegally into the country are contributing to COVID. I mean, I'm sure somebody who's coming across the border has COVID. All right, nobody's saying they don't. Okay, but William Schaffner also says, but given the extensive transmission already in the United States of America, the contribution from somebody crossing the border without inspection is akin to pouring a bucket of water into a swimming pool. Mm-hmm. It's hard to imagine, it's hard to measure, and it seems pretty trivial to me. That's basically the bottom line there.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, did anyone check out the Olympics?
Absolutely.
You did? Did you watch?
Yes.
I did. I've been keeping up with it though.
Yeah, I felt bad for Simone Biles.
Yeah.
I felt very bad for her.
I did too.
Because originally people were like, "Come on, what kind of mental, emotional
people
issues?"
can suck a toe.
Yeah, but then I'm like, "What are you kidding me? She's flying up in the air, leaping around 3 times in the air, and she loses her sense of where she is in space. She'll break her neck.
Right.
How do you say go compete?"
Yeah, no.
No.
She had something called the twisties, and she was forced to withdraw. It's a mental block. So it's like when you're flying up in the air, you lose track of where you are in space. You're gonna land on your neck and kill yourself.
Exactly. So it's like she did it for her own personal.
And she had nothing to prove. She has more gold medals than anybody.
She actually broke a record.
Yeah.
She broke a record. So
I don't know how many gold medals she had in her lifetime, but I know she had more than everybody else.
I feel like I read somewhere where she broke a record because she just got with one of her, I think she got a bronze medal, and that kind of like put her on some kind of record that she broke.
Yeah, she has actually here. I'm just reading it now. 7-time Olympic medalist, 4 gold, 1 silver, 2 bronze, and at the end of the day, she did come back and win a bronze. So that good for her.
Exactly.
Allison Felix, American sprinter. She became American track and field. She became the most decorated track and field athlete in history with another gold medal on Saturday, winning the 4x400 relay. And Jamaica also won Friday night.
Shout out to Jamaica on Independence Day.
Yes, they won on Independence Day.
Yes, that was huge.
Yeah, the women's team won 4x100 meter relay. They set a national record. They did do it on Jamaican Independence Day. The team clocked in at 40.82 seconds. United States finished with 41.45. Britain took the bronze. The 3 team members, Elaine Thompson, Hurrah, Shelley Ann Fraser Price, and Sharika Jackson, swept the medals in the 100 meters. A few nights later, who won? Florence, in which Thompson Hurrah broke 33-year-old Olympic record of Florence Griffith Joyner.
Yes, that's huge. That's huge. Yeah. And I did read right here, Simone Biles became the first African American woman, or the first American woman to claim the title 7 years in a row with that bronze medal. So with everybody talking mess, she still came out and broke records. So.
And the U.S. Olympic basketball team won gold again.
Yeah, of course.
Come on.
Of course.
Right.
Look at us.
Right. U.S. women's soccer took bronze. And there was a refugee Olympic team.
Yeah, I didn't know about it until, reading up on Host Chat, which is awesome.
Yeah, I honestly didn't know about it either. It was established in 2016 by the International Olympic Committee for at least 13 athletes from 11 different countries who were stateless.
That's amazing.
So they were not able to participate in any in the Olympics because they didn't have a country to represent.
And that means a lot to me because my family were refugees in Sudan. So, if that was them at that time, the fact that they gave them a home and a team, that's, I think, amazing.
Yeah, so, all these young, according to Filippo Grandi, he is the United Nations High Commissioner of Refugees. He told CNN Sports, "We've all shared hardship and deprivation and separation from loved ones. We've all lived through a sort of collective exile. All these young men and women, in addition to COVID, have behind them a history of deprivation, separation from loved ones, physical exile, and somehow they carried a double symbolism in the entrance to the Olympic Stadium, representing the Olympic refugee team."
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
I thought that was very nice. Now, nobody has actually won a medal on the Olympic refugee team.
Listen, representation is enough. How about this girl? I thought the cyclist, did she not? I thought she did. Yeah,
she won?
This cyclist.
I thought nobody won.
I could have sworn the cyclist did. Maybe.
Maybe Jill can tell me. What? No, the refugee Olympic team is yet to win its first Olympic medal. Kima Alizadeh, who previously competed for Iran, came the closest.
Oh, she became the closest.
After winning her first 3 Taekwondo fights in Tokyo, she then lost her last 2, including the bronze medal fight. Yes.
Hey, representation is winning right there for me. That's winning. That's huge.
Every time I think about the Tokyo Taekwondo, I have to give a shout out to my daughter.
Is she?
She was a,
that?
well, I'll tell you a very quick story about it.
Okay.
15 seconds. You want to hear 15-second Taekwondo story?
15 seconds.
Okay, 15 seconds. Tell me, go.
Go.
My daughter Gabby, starting at 3 years old, was dropped off at a Taekwondo birthday party. She wanted to go back every day, week after week, Taekwondo. Nobody knew what was going on. I would just drop her off and go to work. Next thing I know, she's a yellow belt, green belt, black belt, double black belt. Then I'm taking her to New York State competitions. She wins the New York State Taekwondo 13 and under when she was 10 years old. They want to send her off to Colorado to train at the, I swear to God, train at the
Watch, she
Olympic.
becomes the next Karate
yeah,
Kid.
she was going to be like Ronda Rousey.
Wow.
And then all of a sudden, she's like, beating everybody up in the ring. And I'm like, wait, I don't want my little daughter getting beat up like this. So I stopped it because, she was on track to be Taekwondo for this Olympics. So I remember her crying, "Oh, you ruined my dreams! You ruined my dreams!"
You should have let her keep on going.
Yeah, she's happy now. She's okay with it. But every time I hear that, but I said, "Listen, I saved you from getting beat up. You were not. My daughter was not. She was never going to win. She was never going to win.
You
Although,
never know.
Did you see Bruce Springsteen's daughter won?
See what I'm saying?
Did you see that? Yeah, Bruce Springsteen's daughter won a medal in something with horse jumping.
No.
Right. I forgot what. It was a silver or a bronze.
How did it take us so long to find out that your daughter could beat us all up?
Because I'm dropping her off and I'm going to work and I'm not staying there watching. And then my ex-wife would pick her up from the Taekwondo and I come home and I'm like, "How is everything?" "Great." And then nobody tells me anything. Next thing I said, "When did she get a black belt?" I had no idea.
You have an undercover ninja in your home. Okay.
That's hilarious.
Yes, yeah, but that's a true story.
That's so funny.
Yeah, but Bruce Springsteen's daughter was silver equestrian jumping. My daughter ended up as a triple black belt, but never competed anywhere as an 11-year-old.
That's huge. That's huge.
All right, let's get to some Fuzzy Monday. We gotta move along here. I like that first picture of us, right, with the glasses, right? It looked much more fun than being in the snow, I think, right?
Right.
Meanwhile, a white cow by the name of Ronnie lives in Bangladesh. I don't know why this is exciting, but we're going to find out about this white cow very soon. She's a very special cow, Vanessa.
Looks like a cow with a bulldog.
She is being hailed as the world's smallest cow.
Oh.
She's 57 pounds, 27 inches wide, 20 inches tall.
Oh.
And if confirmed by the Guinness World Records, this 23-month-old cow will be about 4 inches shorter than Manakayam, the current title holder for the world's smallest cow. Rani is a craze as she has a high possibility to have her name in the Guinness Book of World Records. Abu Sufyan said Rani was born in 2019, is not expected to grow any taller, although she did gain 15 pounds in the last year. Because of the COVID pandemic, Abu Sufyan hired 3 security guards to help control her fans. He said they're allowing 10 visitors a day. This cow has fans?
I cannot.
How many fans does this cow possibly have?
Not more than us.
Can you check out, Vanessa? Does the cow have a fan page on Instagram?
I must look into it.
Can you look into that? Does this cow have any fans?
Let's see.
What does the cow have? Jonathan's looking right now. What do you think? Is Ronnie the cow from Bangladesh? If Ronnie the cow from Bangladesh has more followers than us, I'm giving back my law license. Going to become a farmer.
Who else do we have in there while we figure out where Ronnie's
All right. Meanwhile,
I don't know if they have
UPS. Maybe not. All right. Then there's still faith in this world.
Yes.
Okay, yes, they don't have a lot of followers.
Okay. Good.
All right. UPS driver Sean McCarran started a Facebook group 6 years ago called UPS Dogs. The group is dedicated to the photos of dogs that UPS drivers meet on their route. You know, the dogs that chase the brown truck down the street? UPS drivers from across the country submit their photos and videos.
Look at that one.
The page now has 1.8 million followers.
Sheesh. Okay, there you
All
go.
right, there you go. All right, the law license is going back.
Yeah.
1.8 million followers for the UPS guys taking pictures of their dogs. He said, McCarran said dogs are really important to people's families. They're like their son or daughter. So you talk to them and treat them as such. Very cute.
That is cute. Look at all those, though.
Very,
it's a whole
very
group
cute.
of them.
All right, we got to get to our immigration questions.
Yep.
I've got Vanessa. I'm going to let you pick. 1, 2, 3. Because there's 3 left. 1, 2, 3.
3 is my favorite number.
3. All right. You know Selma Hayek?
Do.
Love?
Yeah.
Some Selma Hayek.
All right.
Okay.
So she has an owl named Karen, who she adopted 2 years ago after responding to an advertisement about rescue
Oh,
owls.
wow.
After researching the work that goes into caring for an owl, Hayek decided to adopt one. Hayek told People's 2021 Beautiful issue, "I gave it to my husband as a Valentine's present and named her Karen because that's the name of his company and their symbol of the owl. Well, thank you, but I know this is your present for yourself," is what he said. Hayek says that when my husband's not in town, she sleeps in the room with me. We have certain routines before we go to sleep. I watch TV with my iPad, and she likes to stand on the iPad and watch it.
I don't like birds. So.
Anyone out there who wants to give me a bird? Keep it for yourself.
Yeah, me too.
All right, if I get a bird as a present, as sad as I am to say, I may keep the windows open. Right?
Listen,
Isn't that awful?
Sylvester the cat
Isn't
can come
that
and
awful?
visit me.
Would you want a bird, Vanessa?
I mean, this is an owl, though. This is a unique, exotic.
Hell no. Listen, all the alley cats can come in and have its way. Yeah, I don't like birds at all.
I don't know about cats eating the owl.
I
But,
don't like birds. I don't care.
A response, Brad, because I always stay so stuck on how much every time that any conversation on birds come up, Yo-Yo is out.
Yeah, right. He's like, no birds.
All my friends make fun of me and send me all these crazy birds.
If a bird comes near you, what do you like? Freak out?
I have a video of me actually shooting for Bradshaw Live. I'll send it to everybody next time.
You know what?
You can see.
You know what?
Out.
Next week on Fuzzy Monday, let's pull out the video of Yo-Yo running from the bird.
Jilly, I'll send it to you.
Okay. All right, we gotta get to our immigration and meat and potatoes. But first, in today's Braducation, I talk about lawful prospective immigrant status, what it is, and what it could mean for millions of people. That's why. My goal is straightforward: to make the law usable and easy to understand for everyone. All of us in the United States have equal rights and should have an equal opportunity and a right to justice. I'm here to help because I want everybody to achieve their American dream. I'm Brad Bernstein, and this is your Immigration Braducation. I'm not here to tell you what you want to know. I'm here to tell you what you need to know. U.S. immigration law is complex, and the regulations are constantly changing. My objective is to make the law easy for you to understand so that you can use the justice system, know your rights, take advantage of the law, and achieve your American dream. Now, the Pew Research Center estimates that approximately 11 million people living in the United States are out of status. And for the first time in 35 years, an amnesty bill that has a chance to pass has been presented to Congress by President Biden. Called the U.S. Citizenship Act of 2021, the immigration reform bill is 363 pages and offers 5 different amnesties and an overhaul to family and employment-based immigration. Now, keep in mind, this is not law yet and is subject to change and may not even be passed by Congress. But because the Democrats control the House of Representatives, the Senate, and the presidency, people are very excited about this. So let's get into the meat, the substance, the nitty-gritty of one very important section of the United States Citizenship Act of 2021 that will affect the lives of millions of people. Lawful prospective immigrant status. You're going to hear a lot about this. Now, before we get to the amnesty, let me give you a braducation within a braducation. There are 5 categories of immigration status that you can have in America. 1, you can be a United States citizen. 2, you can be a lawful permanent resident. That's somebody with a green card. 3, you can be a non-immigrant. That is someone who is lawfully in the United States with a visa that is temporary in nature, such as a visitor, student, or even somebody on a temporary work visa. 4, you can be in the United States under color of law, which is somebody who is neither a citizen, resident, or non-immigrant, but nevertheless is legal to be in America, such as someone with a pending asylum application, or a pending adjustment of status application, or recipient of deferred action for childhood arrivals known as DACA, or even somebody under temporary protected status known as TPS. Or 5, you can be undocumented because you came to the United States without inspection, or you were inspected as a non-immigrant and overstayed your allotted time on your visa, or you had a green card and were ordered deported and just never left. So now people who are residing in the United States under color of law, as well as those who are undocumented, will be eligible for this new immigration amnesty status that will affect millions of lives. Lawful prospective immigrant status will cover people who are physically in the United States and are undocumented or in the United States under color of law on January 1st, 2021 and pass a background check. Those individuals will receive employment authorization, immediate authorization to travel back and forth to their home country, a social security number, a driver's license, apply for health insurance, and have the ability to apply even for the Affordable Care Act. In fact, anyone with an application pending for lawful prospective immigrant status will not be subject to deportation. And if the status is granted, you still cannot get deported unless you commit a crime, and this status will be good for up to 6 years. And by the way, you can watch more legal advice pieces like this by following Braducation on Brad Show Live on OnlyFans, the only fully clothed lawyer on the entire. Why we're there, that's a whole other question. But we're there, fully clothed. And the other thing, the other answer that I asked Yo-Yo, I had no idea. Drum roll, please, Julian. Despite being fearful of birds, he still likes chicken. I said, do you eat chicken? I've never seen him eat chicken. But he eats a chicken.
It's only because I grew up eating chicken. If I didn't, I would not eat it.
But he eats chicken.
I do eat chicken, especially some fried chicken, jerk chicken, stew chicken.
And eggs.
And eggs.
And eggs, too.
I don't think about it. If I start thinking about it, then I get disgusted.
No problem eating eggs and chicken. As long as the chicken's not...
It's all in your head.
It's all in your mind. Absolutely.
As long as the chicken's not flying right at him.
No. No.
Sweet little owl.
Let's not talk about it, because I'm about to eat chicken tonight, and I know.
Jilly put in my ear, just tell Jonathan, bird is the word.
The word. Bird.
Let's go to our immigration questions. You got a question, I got an answer. Call us right now, 1-800-529-5465. Let's go to Abhishek in Westfield, New Jersey. Abhishek, how are you?
Hi, Brand. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Very good. I have a simple question for you.
Yes.
I just filed a I-360 Wawa. It's just question for myself. I filed already year ago, and they send me a prima facie.
Prima facie.
Yeah. Yeah, and then they just send me another for the 6 month, and between that, how long they guys take to get approval? The second one is gonna be expire on this month. I'm in August.
Did you file an adjustment application too?
Yeah, with
Okay. So you have
with
your
my
work
VAWA.
permit. You have your work permit, right?
Yes, I have my work permit.
VAWAs are taking now almost 3 full years. They're getting probably a ton of VAWA cases. Just in my office alone, I know they've gone up a lot exponentially in terms of people filing, unfortunately. Don't expect anything less than 2 years, but you got to figure somewhere between 2 to 3 years. These days.
Sounds good. And like they guys are like track something like that. What's the call? Like I pay like taxes every year, something like that.
Well, if you're working, you should be paying taxes. Have you been? Are you working?
Yeah, I am working, but like.
I'm sorry, but what was your problem?
Like they guys are like every year they guys are like track like the guy like I filed the VAWA, and like they guys are track every year like I filed the tax like that something.
Well, you have to pay taxes on the income you earn. So I'm not sure I'm not sure what you're asking me. You're saying the guy who filed your VAWA is filing your taxes for you? He's preparing your tax returns? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Well, I think maybe if you're concerned about whether you're doing your taxes right or not, just go to a second person, an accountant or some sort of tax preparer, and ask them if your taxes are being done right. But yes, you should be filing taxes, okay?
Thank you, Ben. Appreciate it, man.
All
Thanks.
right.
Appreciate.
Good luck. Okay.
Bye.
All right, let's go to Colette in Atlanta. Colette.
Hello, hi Brad, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm wonderful. My daughter received her green card under the I-7 category due to her father being a U.S. citizen. In order for she to be to have her citizen status, sorry, what should I do?
Does she live with the father?
Yes.
Okay.
We all live together, yes.
You all live together? Yes. So as long as she has a green card, the father's a citizen, and she's under the age of 18, you can apply, go online and apply for a U.S. passport for her. She's an automatic U.S. citizen, and also apply for an N600 certificate of citizenship. You can do both simultaneously.
Okay, and this could be done online. I do not need to submit anything to the
No, go
USCIS.
online. USCIS, you have to submit an N600 form. When I say go online, you don't actually do it online. I was saying go online to print out the forms. For the U.S. passport, you have to print out the forms as well.
Okay, and where would those be submitted to? Is it still to the USCIS?
USCIS gets the N600, and the passport goes to the U.S. Passport Office at the Department of State in Washington, D.C.
Okay. Also, a permanent, legal permanent resident. My mom is in Jamaica. In order to petition for her, what forms would I need to do so?
You can't. You have to be a citizen first.
Oh, I can't be a lawful permanent resident?
No, you have to be a citizen to file for your mom. How long have you been a resident?
Been a resident for the past year.
Okay. You have 2-year or 10-year?
A 10-year.
Okay. Did you get a 2-year before or no?
No.
Okay. So, so in another 2 years, you can file for your citizenship 90 days before your 3-year anniversary. Then you can file for your citizenship. So your mom, unfortunately, won't be here till probably 2024 or so.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay. Good luck.
Bye.
All right. Let's go to Dennis in Atlanta. Dennis.
Yes, sir.
Hi. How are you?
I'm good. Question. I came up on a fiancé visa from 2017. We get married, and then after that, the marriage break up before the in 1 year time, and I find for the abuse because she abused me, and then they denied me because I never turn up at the interview. I never get an interview date, but she get it.
Who got it? The wife.
The wife.
Okay. When you said you filed an abuse case, so your wife filed an adjustment like a regular husband-wife would file an adjustment, and then you left your wife because of the abuse, and then you filed an I-360. Is that what happened?
Yes, because she never give me. We were break up.
I understand.
We break up.
I understand. What happened to the I-360?
I don't. My lawyer never filed for that.
Oh, never did.
He filed for abuse.
Oh, that's the
VAWA.
abuse, right? That the I-360 is the abuse VAWA. What happened with that case?
He denied.
It was denied because she didn't show up to an interview?
No, the first we never when he just denied. He never, the first one with my wife.
I understand. I understand your wife filed for you and you didn't show up to an interview, and that marriage case was denied. But then there was a second application for abuse, and you said that was denied as well.
Yes, sir.
Why?
I don't know.
You don't know. Okay. When did you get married to your wife? When did this happen?
2017.
Okay. Have you divorced your wife yet?
No, she divorced me.
When did she divorce you?
She divorced me. I received the divorce this year.
So when did the judge sign the divorce?
I don't.
Was it in
I get the
2020,
paper.
2021?
2021.
The judge signed the divorce in 2021.
Yes.
Okay. You and your wife live together. True or not true?
We're not living together
No,
now.
that wasn't my question. Back in the day,
Yes, sir.
you and your wife lived together. True or not true?
True.
Okay. It was a real marriage. True or not true?
Yes. True.
Okay.
Real marriage.
When you say there, have you ever been arrested for any reason? Do we have any issues with moral character with you?
No arrest.
Okay. Last question. When you say abuse, was it physical abuse? Did you have to call the police because you were threatened or physically hurt? Or was it constant, daily, emotional abuse?
It was emotional, physical, but I never called the police
So
because
there was physical
was
and
threatening.
emotional.
Yes, and she was threatening me.
Okay. So I don't know why your VAWA case was denied. If there was physical abuse and you don't have an arrest record and you and your wife live together, you're entitled to a green card under VAWA. Why it was denied, I don't know, but I can say this. You have 2 years from the time that the judge signed the divorce to file a new VAWA case. So the judge signed the divorce sometime in 2021. My guess is you have somewhere between 16 to 18 more months left to file a VAWA case. You still have time to file a new one. So my suggestion would be, let's see why the first case was denied. Let's fix that problem, and then let's refile again. Because you have to prove 3 things to get your green card through VAWA. You and your spouse lived together. It was a real marriage. You said yes, true. 2, you're a person of good moral character, no arrest. You said yes, true. 3, you were physically abused. You said yes, true, or extreme emotional abuse on a regular basis. We don't even have to get to that. So, based on what you told me, you're entitled to VAWA. We just got to prove it now.
Yes, sir.
So hold on 1 second, all right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Let's go to Marie in Brooklyn.
Hello?
Hi, Marie.
Hi. So my question is that, okay, I've been married to my husband for 5 years.
I'm sorry,
and
you
I got the
divorced
green
what?
card.
You divorced your
I've
husband?
been married.
Oh, your poor baby. Yes, she's hungry at times. One or the
Yeah,
other.
she's a newborn.
Aw, okay. I'm sure she's cute, though. Loud but cute.
Yeah.
So you divorced, and what happened?
No, we're not divorced. We're still together, but I want to apply for my citizenship. So I want to know if we have to have the 3-year tax return together. I've been paying tax for the past 3 years, though.
You and your husband are together. It's a real marriage, still.
Yes.
When I say real marriage, meaning you're still together. There's, you're not separated or anything. Yes,
Right.
you need to have 3 years joint tax returns with your spouse for the 3 years you're together. Obviously, you have a child together. So just go amend the taxes that you don't have jointly, and you'll become a citizen.
But I only have 2-year tax return with him and 1 by myself.
Okay, so then when did you get married to him?
2014, I believe.
Okay, so then go back and amend 1 more year behind.
Okay.
All right, and then you'll be fine.
All right, thank you.
All right, okay, good luck.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to Yasim in Indianapolis, Indiana.
Hey, how you doing,
Good,
Brad?
how are you?
I'm great, thanks for asking. I filed an I-485 application to adjust my status along with the I-130 back on 2017.
Right.
through my wife. Then I have the I-130. It's already approved 3 years ago. The I-485, they told me that I file I-601 waiver, which I did.
Why did you need a waiver?
Because they said back when you got your visa, there is a misrepresentation.
What was the misrepresentation?
They told me, do you have anybody in the United States? And I said no.
And who did
and
you?
At that time, I have my brother already here.
Okay. All right.
The I-601 got denied. Then I file an I-290B, and I refile another 601. That's back on November 2020. Both of the cases, it's outside the processing time.
Right.
And when I spoke with the senator, he spoke with them, and he told me that we cannot make a decision on the 601 right now because there is an I-290B on file. You can't do
both. I know that. You can't do both. You either appeal or do a new one. But if you're going to do a new one, then you got to file a new adjustment. So you're not following the right procedures, certainly, and substantively you didn't do a good waiver. You're being represented by an attorney on this, or you're doing this on your own?
Yeah, he make all that. So should I withdraw the 290B, or what should I do? Right?
I think you need a consultation. I think the appeal is going to go nowhere. Generally, appeals don't get approved in these situations. You can't file a second waiver until you file a new adjustment. So both cases sound like a disaster to me. Sounds like you need a consultation more than anything. My guess would be...
I have another I-485 on file.
Oh, you do already? Yeah, so then you would then withdraw the appeal.
What that?
Withdraw the appeal.
Withdraw it?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Let's go to Abraham in Houston, Texas.
Hello, can you hear me?
I do. How are you?
Thank you, sir. Thank you for taking my call.
My pleasure. What's going on?
Yeah, I'm going to make it short. I'm trying to file, I already filed for adjustment of status. And I had one felony, 1991.
For what?
For a friend of mine sent a tax document to my address.
I don't need the whole lowdown. Just what were you found guilty of?
Yeah, guilty of actually it's social security card. I forged a social security card.
A credit card?
Huh?
Something with a credit card? Some fraud with a credit card?
No, not the credit card. I forged a social security card to cash a tax return that a friend of mine did sent. Actually, he was trying to recruit me. I refused, and he tried to recruit me indirectly. So I get mad at him. So I said I decided I was going to cash the check to spite him. So I get caught and I get in trouble.
All right. So you cashed a bad check or something like that, right?
Yes, sir.
How much was the check valued at?
About 5,000.
Okay. So, and this happened in 1991.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And did you go to jail?
Yeah, I spent three or four days.
Okay.
In the county jail.
When did you come to the United States?
1984.
How'd you come to the U.S.?
I came as a student.
Okay.
With a student visa.
So you've been here a long time now. It's 2021. You're adjusting your status now?
No, I started at 2016.
Uh-huh.
I started adjustment 2016, and I had a lawyer and.
You got married?
No.
Who's sponsoring you?
My son.
Your son.
Okay. I have a son. Yeah.
Okay. So what is your question?
And,
I understand everything. What is your question?
My question is now they refusing. They deny the adjustment.
Why?
And the problem is through miscommunication with the lawyer that I had. The lawyer, I don't know. See, I went to an interview about 2-3 years ago with my son, and I talked to her. She gave me wrong information. Actually, they didn't need my son to be present. It took a long time, and I called her. She didn't. She was supposed to show up with me to the immigration. She didn't, at the last minute. She refused to show up.
What was the reason why immigration denied your? They wrote you a letter and gave you a reason. What was the reason?
They haven't written me
How do you know you were
an official
denied?
document.
How do you know you were denied?
At the time they gave me pass because the lawyer was just kind of.
How do you know you were denied? If they didn't write you a letter.
I think no. They haven't. The time they gave me expired. So I'm like in a limbo.
The time they
limbo
gave you
situation,
to what expired? What expired? What time?
I think that they gave me 90 days. This is last year.
90 days to do what?
90 days to file.
A waiver?
A waiver, I forgot the document name.
An I-601 waiver.
Something like that,
yes, you need a waiver, but your convictions for a crime of moral turpitude that happened more than 15 years ago, even though you may have pled guilty to a felony, it's not an aggravated felony because the fraud was less than $10,000. You didn't go to jail for a year. So it's a crime of moral turpitude that happened more than 15 years ago. It's your only offense. You have a very straightforward, simple waiver, even through your son. You don't even have to prove hardship. You just have to prove good moral character for the last 15 years. It's very straightforward, done on I-601. I don't know why you were denied. It sounds like you don't even know why either. But procedurally, you're entitled to a green card.
That's what the lawyer told me. That the last minute, the lawyer just refused. I don't know.
So I've told you everything I know to tell you, which is you needed to file an adjustment and a waiver at the time of the adjustment based on the crime of moral turpitude that happened more than 15 years ago. That should have been approved. It wasn't done. I don't know why. Maybe you were approved. Maybe you've been denied. I have no idea. We would have to get to the bottom of it. I can certainly help you. You don't even know yourself. So hold on. But based on your entire story, you're entitled to a green card. You just got to go about it the right way. Hold on 1 second. All right. Let's go to Michelle in Atlanta, Georgia.
Hello, hi.
How are you?
I'm fine. Let me take off my mask because I don't think you're hearing me clearly. Yeah, hi, I'm Michelle again.
Hi, Michelle again. How are you?
Yeah, what I was saying in the text is that I call immigration, the 603 number 24, up to 12 midnight, that kind of number. And they were telling me that Kingston freeze with immigrants. They are only taking expedite cases.
A freeze on immigrants for what?
They said they're not, Kingston are not accepting any immigrants from NVC right now. That's what the lady told me. And they are only taking expedite cases from NVC.
Who are you trying to sponsor?
My husband.
You're a U.S. citizen?
I am a citizen, yeah.
Right. What she's saying is not true. All she's probably saying is she can only help you if you try to expedite your case. But they're processing the cases through. To say they're not, that's not true.
Because what would she tell a lie though? What's she going to profit by that? What kind of foolishness is that?
I don't know what kind of foolishness that is. I have no idea. I wasn't part of that conversation, so maybe you misinterpreted something.
She said that my husband was approved from September 18.
What she was probably saying to you is that she could only help you if you try to expedite it with a good reason to expedite the case. But for her to say the NVC is not processing those cases, that's not true.
That's what she said.
All right, so maybe you want some help already because it's since 2018.
Yes, that's why I text and said I need your help.
All right, so hold on 1 second. I think you need help now. Hold on.
Okay.
All right. Let's go to Mercy in Columbus, Ohio. Mercy. Hi, Mercy. Mercy.
Hello.
How are you?
Good, Brad.
What's going on?
So much has been going on. I've been looking for a means to talk to you for quite a long time, Brad.
Okay, what's going on?
I have a problem. They charge me of fraud and misrepresentation. Misrepresentation.
Wait, whoa, slow down, because I didn't understand. After you said I have a problem, I didn't understand one word. Slow down. You have a problem, and what happened?
The immigration, my 485 was denied.
Why was it denied?
They said fraud and willful misrepresentation.
Fraud and misrepresentation. You got sponsored by your spouse?
Yes.
Okay. What is the alleged fraud? What did they claim that you committed fraud with?
My spouse died. I didn't tell them during my interview. Then they said
your spouse who sponsored you died, or a different spouse?
Yes, the one who sponsored me died.
So you showed up to an interview by yourself on a marriage case, and they asked you, "Where's your spouse?" What did you say?
No, they didn't ask me that. They didn't ask me.
So in other words, let me just understand this properly. You get married, assume it's a good marriage, and your husband files for you, and unfortunately, sometime in this process, your husband passes away, and that's sad. So I'm sorry, my condolences. And then sometime after that, you get an interview, and you show up and you say, "Here I am." I assume the first words out of the immigration officer's mouth is, "This is a marriage case. Where's your husband?" What did you say?
No, they didn't ask me about that.
What did they ask you about?
The man didn't even talk for long. So since I was so naive, just timid, he just asked me some document. I gave him. So I thought I wasn't there with the lawyer, because the lawyer which I had, he was the one who
That's
messed
not
up.
how it usually works. You usually have to show up with the spouse, and they say, "Where's your spouse?" I can't do an interview without him.
Yes, they didn't. He wasn't there, so they didn't give me the chance. What was in my mind? I thought it would be good for me.
What was the fraud that they claimed? They said that you never said he was passed away. That makes no sense to me. Why would you not tell them that?
I don't really understand, Brad.
Okay. All right. I don't understand either, but I could get to the bottom of it. It starts with, let's get a copy of your Freedom of Information Act request. Let's get a copy of your records and see what what immigration claims you said. Not to say that that's the truth, but at least let's start with what immigration claims you said, because they're going to claim something. Okay.
Yes, it's marriage fraud.
I understand that they're saying it's marriage fraud. What is the fraud? You showed up by yourself without a husband, and every time, I've been a lawyer for 25 years. I've done this thousands and tens of thousands of times. Marriage cases, you show up, you don't show up with the spouse. The first words out of the immigration officer's mouth every time for 25 years is, "Where's your spouse?" The interview is supposed to be with your spouse. It's the first question out of their mouth. So I actually find it impossible to believe that you show up to an interview and nobody asks you where your spouse is. So I said, let's find out what happened.
Yes, but I now remember. It's because I filed under VAWA.
Aha! You filed under VAWA.
Yes.
Okay.
I remember.
Now you remember. Okay. So you filed under VAWA. You're an abused spouse, and you go for an interview, and your spouse passed away during the process.
Yeah.
And they would never ask you if your spouse passed away or not. How are you supposed to know? You're the abused spouse. You're not living with him anymore. I mean, how are you supposed to know that whether he passed away or not?
With him, the person who sent me did my interview said they check it on government record whatsoever that he passed. But
maybe they're saying he passed away before your claim of alleged abuse.
No, he passed away.
Maybe they're saying he passed away in January and you claim you were abused in February.
No.
Okay, I don't know the answer. Bottom line is, we got to find out what they claim you said and take it from there. Hold on one second, all right? Because ma'am.
Yes.
There's a lot more to your story than you're letting on. I realize already. Okay, you need a personal consultation. Hold on.
Yes, bro.
All right, because she's holding back. Marsha in Conway, South Carolina. Marsha.
Yes, sir.
How are you?
Hello.
Hi, Marsha.
Hi. I have a question. I have two questions, but
yes.
Someone calling and you answered them automatically already for me because I'm a green card holder, and I was just wondering
For mom.
about my mom. Well, yes.
Can't.
And you answered the
Not to your
question.
citizen.
Yes, not yet.
Right,
but I've
not
been
yet.
married for 9 years. Yes.
Okay. How long have you had your green card is the key question.
Since 2013.
Okay. And so you can become a citizen whenever you want.
Yes. And another question that I wanted to ask was, my youngest daughter is here with me. She was wondering. I know that if I do submit it for my citizenship, she's not eligible because she's old enough now to do that for
How old
herself.
is she? How old is she?
She's 22.
Yes, she has to do it herself.
Okay. Another question.
Yes.
I have a daughter.
So far, we're
She's
0
in
for
Jamaica.
2. Let's hopefully this is a positive answer. What is the third
Yeah,
question?
this is the last one.
Okay.
My daughter, she's in Jamaica. I already did all the paperwork. I sent them in. The 9th of December, they sent back to me and said they got everything they need. I don't have to submit anything else. And I haven't heard anything else from them.
You're at the National Visa Center, or the papers are already in Jamaica?
I have no idea if they're in Jamaica. I think they're at the National Visa Center.
Okay, and you filed for your child, who is how old?
She was 18 at the time, and she's 25 now.
Well, I don't know if she's in the F2B or the F2A category. It depends on what category
I
she's
think
in.
she's in the F2B category.
Okay, and what month and year did you file for her?
It was September 22nd of 2015.
All right, so she's eligible for her green card. The embassies are way backed up because of COVID. Let's see what happens over the next few months. But if you're documentarily qualified and you still haven't heard anything by the end of the year, give me a call.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right, let's go to Joy in Brooklyn.
Oh, thank you so much. I've been waiting.
Hi, Joy. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
What's going on?
Okay. In March 2022, 2018, I filed for VAWA. On 9/17/2019, they requested for additional evidence. I'm on the phone, sorry. They requested for additional evidence.
Right.
They wanted proof of good moral character from my home country. And they wanted to show that I really divorced my home country spouse.
Sure.
Yes, because I had come into the country before I divorced him. Because it was done in the presence of our lawyers. We were not in court because we couldn't stand each other. So it was our lawyers that represented us.
Where did you do the divorce?
Back in the home country.
All right, so they want proof that the home country divorce, however you did it, is a legitimate divorce, and they want a police certificate from the home country to show you don't have a criminal record.
Yes, so which I did, I gave to them, which I submitted to them.
What is your question for me today?
So my question now is, I haven't received the last response I got was on November 12th, 2019, which says we received your response to our request for evidence.
When did you file this?
I filed this 2019.
Okay, so and you got an RFE right at the initial filing?
What do you mean by that?
So if you filed your VAWA case in 2019, you got a letter back saying you need more documentation also in 2019.
No, I filed in 2018. March 2018.
Okay.
And then in 2019, they told me they needed additional evidence.
All right, so your case is pending now 3.5 years or something.
Yes.
Okay, where are you from? Where are you from?
I'm African, Nigerian.
Nigeria. Okay, they are investigating every divorce in Nigeria. If you have a divorce in Nigeria, they are literally sending somebody from USCIS to the courthouse in Nigeria to see if this divorce is legitimate or not. Everybody's immigration cases from Nigeria are being extraordinarily delayed. If you are 100% confident that this is a real divorce,
yes,
then I would file or threaten to file a mandamus at this point.
How do I go? How do I go about that?
You hire me to do that.
Okay, so I want to do that.
Okay, hold on 1 second.
Okay.
Let's go to Noel in Manhattan.
Hi, sir. How are you? Thanks for
Good.
taking
How are
my
you,
call. A quick little question. Pleading guilty to a disorderly conduct, will it bother your citizenship?
Depends when it happened.
Today.
Yeah, well, you need to, well, disorderly conduct's not a criminal activity. It's not a deportable offense. It's not inadmissible. It could affect good moral character if you've only had one arrest and it turned into a disorderly conduct and otherwise have a clean record for your entire life. You know, I always say one bad night doesn't make you a bad person. So your question is, will it affect your citizenship? It absolutely affects your citizenship because it puts into question your good moral character. Without a disorderly conduct, there's no question that you're a person of good moral character. So now there's a question of, are you a person of good moral character? But my advice to everybody in your situation is, one bad night doesn't make you a bad person. So my answer is, I believe, based on whatever the disorderly conduct, whatever the reason is behind the disorderly conduct, you should most likely become a citizen. But to answer your question, does it affect your citizenship? It affects it, yes, in the sense that now your good moral character is being questioned.
Wow. And you know that my motor vehicle registration was suspended, and then the judge said, "Oh, I bring it down to disorderly conduct."
As I said, one bad incident doesn't make you a bad person. So based on that, yes, I believe you're going to become a citizen. But to say it has no effect on your citizenship would not be true. But if you ask me a different question, will I become a citizen? I will say yes, you will become a citizen.
Actually, I filed for that citizenship about 4 months, 5 months now, so it's already in.
Okay.
I just didn't get
Right,
through
so
yet. So I don't know.
Hopefully soon.
Hopefully soon.
All right.
Wow.
I don't know what I don't know what the wow is. You're going to become a citizen. I told you you'll be okay, but it does affect your citizenship.
Well, does it affect you traveling throughout the U.S.?
No.
I understand some states might be questioning that.
No, because the beginning of my answer is, you're not inadmissible, you're not deportable. It's a violation. It's not a crime.
So all should be good then.
You should be good. Maybe you need a lawyer.
I don't need to employ you.
Well, I said maybe you need a lawyer, but you should be good. Hold on. Let's go to Georgia in New York City. Georgia in New York City. How are you?
Hey, Brad. Good. How are you?
Good. What's going on?
Hey, so I came to the U.S. as a J1 student from the Philippines, and then my visa expired after a year, and then I extended my stay as a tourist. And then after that, I just illegally stayed in the U.S. So I'm wondering, with the probability of the amnesty, or should I just do I have to get married to be legally in the U.S.?
Probability of an amnesty is small. Will you have to get married if you are in a loving, bona fide relationship with a man that, or in a same-sex relationship with a person that you want to be married to and live with and profess each other's love and share a life together? That would be the best way to get your green card.
Okay. So the probability of the amnesty is not too soon?
I would not count on an amnesty coming anytime soon.
Okay, great. Thank you, Brad.
Okay. Let's go to Mark in Springfield, Massachusetts. Mark.
Hi, Brad.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. What's going on?
So I'm calling on the behalf from my brother. He is a DACA recipient. He's been married to his now wife. I just have quick questions. I just want to know, how do we go about submitting the document? I'm sorry. Let me give you the background. He's wondering if I should.
How does he file an adjustment application? Is what you're asking?
But he wants to know if he should wait for the amnesty that's coming up, or should he go ahead and do the marriage case?
If he's married to a woman, then do the marriage case, because we don't know if an amnesty is going to come up or not. And even if it does, after it comes up, there's going to be at least another 180 days, 6 months or longer before a regulation's written that tells you how to even do it, and then he would have to do it. So if he's going to wait on an amnesty that may or may not happen, even if it happens tomorrow, he's not filing for his green card till next year. If he's married now and lives with his wife, he can file for his green card today.
Okay, he's a DACA recipient, so I don't think that matters. But
Well,
I
I think it matters. I think you'd want to get a green card.
Okay. So what form does he submit for adjustment status?
How did he come to the United States?
He came as a child.
How?
I want to say, visiting visa, tourist visa.
Okay, so you file an adjustment application, I-45, an I-130, I-765, I-131, I-130A, I-864. It's an adjustment package.
Yeah, so this is the next issue we ran into, like, over the weekend. We found out that the wife that they lived together, she was collecting unemployment because they had that extra boost.
Yeah.
And then she was still on that,
That's fine.
Section 8. She was on,
Section 8,
still on
Section 8 you should get off of, but the unemployment's fine.
Okay, so the Section 8 is where we were questioning.
Yeah, get off Section 8, unemployment's fine, and then he'll be fine.
Does he need, like, additional support from me? Like,
I don't know. I don't know
or anything?
Probably because the wife probably doesn't earn still income right now.
Yeah, I think she's below the poverty line, I
so
think.
yes, you would have to do a second affidavit of support.
So you said I-45, I-765, I-31A, and I-30?
I-130 and I-130A and I-485 and I-765 and I-131 and I-864. And then an I-864 for you too.
Can I-864. Is it best to do it online or paper?
Print out the forms.
Print out the forms?
Yep.
Okay. I think that's it for now. I don't have any more questions.
All right. Good luck.
Thank you. Okay.
All right. Let's go to Nanzo in Los Angeles. Nanzo.
Hi. Thanks for picking up. Yeah, I'm good. My question is, I actually got married last year, and I knew my wife for 5 months before we got married, and she became abusive, and she's been arrested twice. So I'm considering filing VAWA, but my problem here is we didn't have a lot of things in common because her taxes were like she didn't file for the past 3 years.
Let me ask you a question. You said she was abusive and got arrested twice. She was
twice
arrested
for domestic violence.
Okay, so
hello. Hello, can you hear me? Hello? 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 Oh my God.
life. It happens in life.
Hello, yeah, I can hear you now.
All right. You hear me now?
Yes, he does.
Yeah, I can hear you
All
now.
right. So, when your wife got arrested, she was arrested in your home?
Yeah, no, the first arrest was I was driving on the freeway. She started hitting me, and from there she called the cops herself, and then she was arrested.
Well, let me explain. The cops arrested her twice for domestic violence within your presence. So you have proof. Cops came and saw you guys are together fighting. That's not a business marriage. You already have proof of the relationship.
Oh, okay. Just that we couldn't open an account together.
That's fine.
We didn't fight.
The cops came to your home. The cops came to your car. You're fighting. She's hitting you. She got arrested.
Yeah.
The cops documented your marriage.
Yes.
All right. Yes, you can file and you should. Hold on one second, okay?
Okay. My other question, please.
Yeah.
My other question is it okay to just file just the VAWA, or should I file adjustment of status with it?
File an adjustment with it because you get a work permit.
Okay.
All right. Hold on if you
All
need
right,
help.
thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Hold on if you need help. All right. By the way, if you didn't get your immigration questions asked and answered, I don't know why I always have to look at this sheet. I'm like, where are we now? It's the same thing every time, right? And then I'm like, where are we at? Yes. If you don't have your immigration question answered, you can always follow me on Instagram at RealBradBernstein. You follow me on at RealBradBernstein. You can drop me a DM. I'll try to answer your question as best as I can. I may answer it. I may tell you need a consultation, but generally I answer the questions. You could also follow us at Brad Show Live on Instagram. You follow us at Brad Show Live on Instagram. As I always say, you can't handle 2 hours of Brad, Yo-Yo, and Vanessa. You can handle 30 seconds of us. The best place to handle 30 seconds of us is at Brad Show Live on Instagram. And finally, our fastest growing social media platform, TikTok. You love Speed Round, which is coming up soon. You got to see every last one of them on TikTok, right?
Absolutely.
And you also get to ask me questions on TikTok, and then I leave you video answers, right?
Yep.
I'm going to actually answer some more later.
All right.
All right. And Jonathan?
You guys can follow me at Jonathan Elias TV on Instagram.
And you guys can find me at Vanessa.Contreras TV.
And later in the show, we will get an update on Jason Rochester, Cecilia Gonzalez, and their son Ashton. We first met the family in 2019 after Cecilia self-deported to Mexico in 2018, not realizing she would have a ban to re-entering the United States. They will give us an update on how they're doing as they continue to work to get back to America.
And right now, emergency room nurse Damian Mark, who we spoke to at New York City Hometown Heroes Ticker Tape Parade, tells us the #1 change he would like to see made in immigration reform. Now, in the comments, we want to see what you would like to see as well.
What is the #1 change you want to see in U.S. immigration reform?
I don't want to elaborate too much on things that I don't know about. But I do know they had this program with a DACA program where people who immigrated here and have children, they had programs where they're able to go ahead and get citizenship or green card status. I think that's definitely need to stay in place, because if you come into the country illegally, I don't think it matters. As a child, you was born here, so it wasn't your fault that your parents come here illegally. So I think this is something that needs to stay in place, and it should not affect the children of them going to school, getting any kind of green card citizen status. I think that it should be an easy transition for them to continue to live in the United States with not a problem. That's what I would like to see.
All right, you got a question on social media. We got your answers. We're going to check in right now in social media check-in. What's going on?
All right, our first one comes from Peter W. James Jr., Brad Squad VIP member, saying, I received an RFE for joint sponsor and birth certificate. Could I still be scheduled for biometrics and potentially get an EAD as I respond to the RFE?
Once you respond to the RFE, eventually you will, yes.
Tico Ziv Vadez, another Brad Squad VIP member. Is it possible to get a green card through marriage to a green card holder in the USA? Someone I know came to the US 6 years ago through a B1, B2 visa, overstayed and applied for asylum after the 11th month of her arrival. She was allowed only 6 months to stay in the country. She has a pending asylum case now.
No, because she was out of status for some period of time. So had she applied for asylum within that 6-month period, the asylum would have continued her legal status. She would have been eligible to adjust. Now she has to wait on her spouse to become a citizen.
Okay, Pape Samuel, Brad Squad VIP member. How far has the NVC advanced with the F2B category of green card holders? I'm filing for an unmarried child over 21, and I was approved in 2020.
I don't know when you filed, but the NVC is moving at a snail's pace.
Adapting Jeanette Olawasin, another Brad Squad VIP member. It's been more than 120 days since I sent an RFE and I haven't received any notice. What can I do?
Wait, it's going to be a little bit.
Nelson David, Brad Squad VIP member. Can I get derivative citizenship if my father was naturalized in 1980? I was 12 years old. I migrated to the U.S. in 1974 when I was 4 years old. My parents are divorced, and I have my father's child support pay stubs, and he also claimed me on his taxes.
If your father divorced your mom before you were 18 and he got custody of you, the answer is yes. If he was paying child support, it sounds like he didn't have custody. So there's a factual issue there.
Norcia Joachim on YouTube, if I get food stamps, will it affect when I go get my citizenship? Because I know, will it affect me when I get my citizenship?
The answer is no. Food stamps does not affect citizenship.
Mohammed Sabir Khan on Facebook. How long is the I-485 process currently taking at NVC? I applied in June 2020 based on asylum. I'm from Queens.
There is no I-485 process at the NVC or the National Benefits Center.
It says NVC.
Okay, it's probably he means the National Benefits Center, the NBC. For asylum, it's taking several years. You may end up having to do mandamuses. Everyone for asylum.
29 Super C on YouTube. Can someone come to the U.S. on their B1, B2 tourist visa with an immigrant visa pending?
You can try, but there's always a question about immigrant intent when you come into the airport.
Rajashri Balasubramanian.
Oh, very good.
Oh, thank you.
That was very good. Yes. Okay.
Thank you.
Yes. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Mr. Worldwide. Okay. From YouTube, what are your thoughts on immigration reform and budget reconciliation? What are the chances it could be passed and become the law?
I think the DREAM Act has an excellent chance. I think workers who work on farms have a decent to good chance. I think most everybody else has a small chance, but I'd love to be surprised.
Danish Danny on Facebook. What can a couple do who have problems getting married in their country? India is still not open for visitors. Is there anything we can do? We wanted to do CR1.
Meet in a third country. There's no law that says you have to get married in the country where you live.
Marge Higgs on Facebook. My friend's EAD card is 1 year and 2 months overdue. Will this be valid? Should he reapply?
His green card is what?
The EAD card.
Yes.
Is 1 year and 2 months overdue. Will this be valid? Should he reapply?
I don't know if he should reapply, but certainly should look into why it's a year, 14 months to get a work permit. That's crazy.
Ariana Broderick on YouTube. I did my biometric in July, but I had gotten an RFE for my late registration. However, my dad passed away, therefore I can't get DNA. I already got it from my mom. How can I resolve this?
How is she getting her green card?
She didn't say who her sponsor was. She says, I did my biometric in July, but I had gotten an RFE for my late registration.
Okay, so it sounds like her dad.
It might have been the dad, I
who
guess.
sponsored her.
Right. And affecting the
if there's proof that she has brothers and sisters by the same father, you can do DNA through the brothers and sisters and prove that your brothers and sisters are your DNA relatives and that your brothers and sisters are child of your father. You can go that way too.
GT Bank on YouTube. It's been over 120 days since my 485 interview, and haven't heard back from USCIS. Should I be worried, and what should I do?
No, you shouldn't be worried. Just wait.
It's a lot of waiting.
Mm-hmm.
Shanika Gale on YouTube. I got my combo card and I filed for VAWA, but my social security card had a writing that says for work purposes only. What does that mean?
It means that your social security number is valid only with a valid work permit. If your work permit is expired, they say your social security number is expired. Although between me and you and the thousands and thousands of people watching, your social security number is still good. They'll take your taxes anyway. You can file a tax return with that social security number. Once you get your green card, you can go back to Social Security Bureau, get a new card without that little stamp on it.
Sunny Morgan on YouTube. Can an IR5 case be expedited if it becomes documentarily qualified and is stuck at NVC?
Yeah, if you have some humanitarian issues, yes.
Last one from Muhammad Monaru Islam on YouTube. Does a U visa applicant need to file for the I-192 waiver for overstay?
No, not if they're adjusting their status here. All right, so I first spoke with Jason Rochester and Cecilia Gonzalez in 2019. Jason, and by the way, if they're in another country, the answer is yes, you would need a waiver. Jason and Cecilia have been married for 15 years and have a young son together. Cecilia is Mexican and entered the United States more than once without inspection. Jason is American-born. In 2016, he voted for Trump, believing his administration would only go after bad hombres, not his stay-at-home wife with no criminal record. But once Donald Trump got into office, Cecilia feared she was going to be arrested by ICE. So she and Jason did what they thought was right. In 2018, she self-deported to Mexico and thought she would be able to come back to the United States, not realizing that she is now banned. I just recently spoke with Jason and Cecilia and their son Ashton again to get an update on this situation. Let's watch. We first met Cecilia Gonzalez and Jason Rochester in 2019 when I spoke to them about Cecilia's self-deportation. Cecilia and Jason have been married for 14 years and have an 8-year-old son, Ashton, together. But for the last 3 years, they've been raising their child from opposite sides of the United States-Mexico border after Cecilia left for Mexico in 2018 when Donald Trump was president, not realizing this meant a permanent 10-year bar for re-entry into the United States of America. They are now working with the group American Families United, which recently introduced a bill into Congress that would review family separations based on deportation and inadmissibility on a case-by-case basis. With me now together in Mexico to update us on their situation and to discuss the bill are Cecilia and Jason and Ashton. Welcome. How you guys holding up?
Good.
So let's start with a little background about the situation you are currently in. Cecilia, you crossed the border twice and got caught twice, coming from Mexico to the United States without a visa. And then I believe the third time you crossed again and you lived in America for a while. Tell us about after you crossed that third time.
Well, the third time I was 22. I met Jason in 2004. Mm-hmm. We got married in 2007.
So you have almost a 20-year relationship and a marriage for 14 or 15 years now, right?
We just celebrated our 14-year anniversary.
And you have how many children together?
One.
One child. And that this cute boy here, Ashton, who looks like his dad, right? Ashton? Everyone says you look like dad? You have the same face. No?
He's pretty like his mom, I think.
Now, in 2016, you were aware of Cecilia's immigration status, right? You fell in love. It didn't matter whether she had a green card or not. You said, this is the woman I want to be with for the rest of my life. You yourself are a born U.S. citizen. How'd you guys meet?
We had mutual friends, and we used to work together. Took a liking to her, like when I first met her. And she was being more cautious, I guess, because of her immigration situation. And she was afraid to tell me about it. And so it took a while before we could ever even really get into a relationship because she was scared. And eventually, because of one of the friends that had told me she was undocumented, because I didn't really care and he thought I needed to know. And after that came out, we were able to start a relationship and she was more comfortable. And that was really where everything started as a true relationship, because I told her, you know, we can work on it, we can fix it, not knowing her true situation because we didn't know the law. I didn't know that she had a permanent bar, but, you know, I don't think that it would have mattered. We would have worked it out.
So when did you find out?
It wasn't until after she'd already left, because our first lawyer didn't do us justice, and he allowed us to get into the system and got her a work permit and things that we should have never even done in the first place. And he always said that it was not a big deal. I'll have you back in 6 months, even deported. So in our minds, it was not a big deal. When we went to her last meeting in 2017, we had consulted another lawyer, and she did a FOIA before we went. And she said, I'm not going to take your case unless I do a FOIA. So we did the FOIA, we went to the meeting, and then we decided that she was going to leave the country. And then after she was out of the country, a couple of months later, we found out that she had a permanent, but it was too late.
Well, number one, she has a permanent bar for permanent residence. There's always, hopefully, a waiver for a non-immigrant for some humanitarian parole into the United States. You always and this goes for everybody out there, you always need to do a FOIA first to find out what all the issues are before you leave. That lawyer was correct in doing it and then still even gave you incorrect advice, not knowing the law. You should never have left the United States ever. Now, in 2016, Donald Trump was running for election, and he was talking about Mexicans being criminals, rapists, bad hombres, and you voted for him, ironically.
Yeah.
You were not concerned about your wife at that moment.
No, because of the bad hombres. I thought that he was referring to the people that cause trouble, the criminal, the drug dealers, the gang members. I mean, my wife's not a bad hombre.
He tricked you. Trump gets elected, Cecilia. You started getting scared.
Yeah.
You scared about that somebody was going to come knock on your door and arrest you?
Yeah.
Okay, so because your situation was that immigration was allowing you to remain in the United States and was providing you with a work permit and using their discretion not to deport you, and in return was allowing you to accept a work permit and work and keep your family together. Now, Donald Trump become the president. He says he wants to deport everybody. You're now nervous to go to your next check-in with ICE. You have to go every year. And they then decide on a year-by-year basis whether or not to literally handcuff you at this hearing and deport you, or put you in jail and then deport you, or say, okay, you can stay another year. And, while Obama was president, you were comfortable. They would allow you to stay. And now Trump becomes president. Everybody's a bad hombre from Mexico. And you go to this lawyer and you say to the lawyer, what should I do? Because if you go, you run the risk of getting arrested. And if you don't go, there's a warrant out for your arrest, and they come knock on your door, or you go run for the rest of your life, and you don't want to be a fugitive for the rest of your life. So that's the fear that you have. And you go to the lawyer, and the lawyer says, I'm not talking to you.
Yeah, he wouldn't even speak with us.
It's terrible. So what did you do from there?
We purchased plane tickets.
We purchased the tickets
for the day
after
the meeting, so we could have proof saying that we were ready to leave.
This was your own decision. Okay. And then you left for Mexico.
Yes.
Now, you had said you believed at one point that you'd be able to return in 6 months. Was that in your head as well?
Well, because of what our first lawyer told us, it's not a big deal. I've had people with multiple entries. I've gotten their green card. I've had this happen. These were his words. Even if she got deported, I'd have her back in 6 months. And so in our minds, she doesn't have a really bad issue. It's not a big deal. But not being lawyers, we didn't know about the IRA law back in 96 that basically prevents that.
Yeah, but on the second deportation, that's what it prevents. On the first one, there's a waiver, but on the
second one, you're screwed.
Screwed, correct.
Yep.
Now, at the time, your son, he was 4 years old. What did you do with it? You left him in the United States, or you took him with you?
We all came down together.
We all came together and they left.
And when did you discover that you would not be able to return?
Well, we had the lawyer that we had consulted to do the FOIA because she had good credentials, but it was already after the fact that we had said she would leave. So we didn't know what the outcome was going to be. So we were going to see if she could do the work to get her back. And obviously, once she got the results of the FOIA, it was several months after Cecilia had left. And so we found out at that moment that she had a permanent 10-year bar, which she said there's nothing we can do until the law changes.
All right, so now Ashton comes back to the United States with Jason. And I understand at some point he got diagnosed with cancer.
6 months later, he was actually visiting Cecilia for the summer. While in Mexico, he'd only been here like 2 weeks, and he had a large protrusion on his left side, and she noticed it. We sent pictures to his pediatrician in Atlanta, and they said that he needed to be seen. So she went and had a local hospital here see him, and they did, I think, a CT scan, and it ultimately revealed that he had Wilms tumor.
So then you had to bring him back to the U.S. He did all of his treatment with Jason being the sole caregiver.
Yep.
And took care of him in the hospital. That must have been very traumatizing for the entire family. I mean, not only to have your child have cancer, and it's traumatizing for him, traumatizing for Jason, and also traumatizing for you, Cecilia, as the mother, not being able to care for your son.
Oh, yes.
You can only imagine what Ashton is going through and not understanding what's going on with him, not understanding why his mom's not there.
I remember when he was in the hospital, he just kept telling me, Mommy, I want to see you. I want you to be here with me. So that was really hard to me to hear that from him.
Right.
I just keep thinking about his face laying on the bed in the hospital, and just, I can't forget it.
And how long was he in the hospital?
3 weeks.
3 weeks.
How is Ashton doing today? Most importantly.
He's good.
He had a kidney removed.
Yep.
Did he go through chemotherapy, radiation?
Yep, both.
And is he on any treatments now?
No, his next visit when he comes back from Mexico, he'll be going to what they call a survivor's clinic, which means that he has been satisfactory every time he does any kind of scans or everything. And so everything looks good. And then he'll start doing 6-month checkups, and eventually it'll span out to a year, and then so on.
Ashton, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
How you feeling?
Great.
And how often do you see your mom?
This time every day.
Okay. But what happens when you go back to school in September?
I see her remotely.
You see her remotely, and then you go visit her. You miss her?
I mean, if I see her on remote, no, I don't miss her whenever I see her on my iPad. So
that's nice. So
yeah.
Well, whenever he gets here, he doesn't want to leave her alone.
That's what I'm sure. I'm sure.
He wants to sleep in the bed with her. He wants to hold her.
Yeah, well, he's being tough.
It's normal that in Ashton's mind that he sees mommy on FaceTime and Zoom all the time, that when you ask, do you miss her? Because to him, this is a normal situation. It's not unusual. So yeah, he sees her all the time. So no, he doesn't miss her, but that's not normal to everybody else. He doesn't realize it in his young mind that this isn't a normal situation, but it's been half of his life almost.
What happened when he was going through the cancer treatments and you applied for the humanitarian parole? What did the Trump administration say?
They denied it.
Was there a reason, or they just said it's denied?
It just said denied because she had multiple injuries, I think, is what the actual letter said.
Did anybody call the U.S. Embassy after and spoke to the head person in charge there? Hey, let's look at this again. Let's have a heart.
We had an InfoPass meeting that she went back to Mexico City, but that was
it. Okay. You got to speak to the head person there, because the consular officer doesn't look at anything.
Yes.
And you got to literally scream and yell to the top guy there. The squeaky wheel gets the oil. They would re-review it again at a higher level.
Really?
Yes.
See, no one ever told us to do that.
Right. What year was this?
2018.
So what, if anything, did you do after that?
Everyone told us there's nothing that we could do. There was no other course of action. I even asked my attorney if we could file another humanitarian parole, and she said you'd be wasting your money, and I can't do it knowing that it'll be denied.
I don't think you're wasting your money anymore. Consular officers rotate every 18 months to 24 months. There's a new presidential administration. I believe you would not be wasting your time if you did it again now. I would think if it's done well, you would have a good chance.
Yeah.
So are you doing that again now?
We are considering it, yes.
Yes, I would consider it very highly. I think the parole is the way to go over trying to apply for a visa and a waiver. The parole would allow you to enter the U.S., and then you can extend it locally at the immigration office on a year-by-year basis, just like you were doing before, versus a visitor's visa is a one-time thing and go home. Have you spoken to any congressmen or senators now that there's a Democratic majority across the board about doing a private bill? Because you're involved in politics now, so, your congressman or your senator can do a private bill and just attach it on to anything that passes.
I haven't tried a private bill because I know they're so difficult.
They are.
I am going to contact them about anything like that as well.
How do you juggle your job and traveling back and forth, having a long distance relationship with your wife?
Just a lot of virtual. Just we see each other. We talk on the phone all the time, several times a day. We try to do virtual as often as possible. It's a little harder for me because I work a lot of times 14-hour days, and I drive a tractor trailer for UPS, which it's kind of hard to do virtual while you're driving.
Sure. All right, so tomorrow we're going to hear the second half of my discussion with Jason, Cecilia, and Ashton. and the work they're doing with American Families United, which works to help keep United States citizens and their undocumented spouses together. And they currently have a bill pending in Congress.
And before we get into speed round, remember I always ask you guys what you'd like to see change in immigration reform. And I saw a great comment from Seema Singh saying, I would like to see changes that grandparents are able to sponsor their grandchildren once they pass all necessary tests that they can provide for them. And I agree. I love that.
Yes, why not?
Yeah, we've not had that, talk about grandparents.
Grandparents for grandchildren.
Right.
Right.
All right, Nesquik, you want to let us know what's next?
It's for sure. I have one on. I actually have one on YouTube as well. Did you just read Seema Singh?
Yes, that was the one I read.
Perfect. She locked it into both spots. Okay, I thought so.
Awesome.
I'm like, this is very similar. But let's get into speed round.
Let's do it.
All right, 9 questions, 50 seconds. Let's do it.
You got this.
Can I expedite my I-130 if I overstay my visa?
No.
Can a permanent resident of Canada get a U.S. green card?
You can't be a permanent resident of Canada and a green card of the United States. It's one or the other.
Can I get unemployment while waiting for a green card renewal?
Yes.
Will ending unemployment with my sponsor affect my citizenship application?
No.
Can I get advanced parole if I have an order for removal?
No.
Does a citizen need to notify Social Security about a kid born overseas?
No.
Can a citizen sponsor their sibling?
Yes.
How long does I-212 approval take?
At least 6 months to a year.
Can I apply for citizenship after?
Oh, we did it!
Oh, what?
How did we do it with 7 seconds to go? That's a new record, Yo-Yo! That's a new record, Vanessa! I'm telling you, we need to take more 3-week vacations! This is unbelievable!
That was
the fastest speed round ever!
I was gonna keep on going.
9 questions in 50 seconds! That's nothing, man! Every time we should be taking 3-week vacations all the time!
Right. I'm telling you, it's because all the melanin that we all have now. The sun is giving us power.
All right, let's keep it going. Let's get to comments of the day. Comments of the day. What do we got?
All right, our first comment of the day comes from Melanie Abiola Allen saying, hello, Uncle Brad, Yo-Yo, Vanessa, and my lovely squaddies. Welcome back. Miss y'all bad. The best immigration show on earth. Tune in, guys.
All right. Yes, we missed you guys as well. We're happy to be back.
Yes.
All right, our next one comes from Seema Singh saying, good evening, Brad. I missed your live show. I was checking on my phone right through to see if it was broken because I wasn't seeing you guys live.
Oh.
We're just on vacation. We're back now.
Yeah. Everybody needs a little break sometimes. All right, third one comes from Proud Mom saying, I tried to call but couldn't get in. I wanted to thank you guys so much. I passed my N400 on Friday. I have my oath ceremony on August 20th. Thank you so much for answering all my questions.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
That's because of you.
Yes. Well, fantastic. Fantastic news.
Love those. And our last comment of the day comes from Lucia Ancaliano saying, I'm so lucky to subscribe to your show. Thank you for having this kind of show.
Oh, thank you for joining us. And thank you for watching, everybody. And thank you for watching us tomorrow, because we're going to have some tea tomorrow, right?
Tea time.
And we'll answer more immigration questions and more information and more fun. 6 o'clock tomorrow. See you then. So, Sam, as part of the production, we have to say this disclaimer at the end of the show. Do you mind reading it for me?
Okay, but you know, Brad, I have to do everything around here. It's bad enough I've got to remember everything that happened on the episode from the previous day.
Forget it. I'll do it. The proceeding was information only and not specific legal advice. Consult an attorney about your individual situation. Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. To make an appointment with the Spar and Bernstein law firm located at 225 Broadway in New York City, call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Easy to remember, 1-800-LAW-LINK. That's 1-800-LAWLINK. Once again, make a call to 1-800-529-5465. And of course, link up with the law offices of Spar and Bernstein, located at 225 Broadway on the 5th floor. If I were you out there, make the call, make the link, make the connection, make it Spar and Bernstein. 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-529-5465. And now, conveniently located in Hartford, Connecticut on 1 Congress Street. Visit us in Connecticut or in New York at 225 Broadway. That's 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-LAW-LINK. 1-800-529-5465.